Damn, we lost some gold.
Wait for the beat to drop. Hey everyone, welcome to Behind the Bar. My name is Chandler Phillips, and this is
James Beery.
And today we got a really fun science-based Behind the Bar experiment for us today. Before we get into what we're tasting, why we're tasting, how we're tasting, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Was That in Good Taste, whatnots, and the tasting tables, etceteras, etceteras. James, how you been?
I've been doing not so great, and so I need to get sloshed.
Well, it's
in a scientific way.
In a scientific way. That's brilliant because we have two nice heaping pours of tequila in front of us. Actually, it is what kind of tequila did we have?
It is
up?
the Casamigos Reposado.
Okay, it's good. It's important to have a reposado or some sort of aged tequila in this aged science experiment that we're doing here because it allows a little bit more to happen. So a little bit about a week or so ago, I had a couple people sent me a video or TikTok or Instagram, some sort of short format infographic.
Oh, I love one of those.
That recommended we try frothing tequila, like, pouring a shot of tequila and then using a milk frother. I love
that. It said James and Chandler.
Try this.
Yeah. Fuck.
We got added.
I didn't realize. That's great. Well, we had to.
So now
you asked, so we had to.
So we're gonna try it. And I did a little surface area digging on.
Ooh, I can't wait to emotionally and like tangentially react to it, like I know what I'm saying.
The science behind the contrast of flavors here. So for reference, we got two little snifter glasses of frothed Casamigos Reposado tequila, and then we have two kind of our control groups are just two shot glasses of about an ounce of the same. I think we should try it controlled first, then frothed, then control. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Oh, you just agree immediately?
Yes. I'm pretty pliable. Like I said, I've been having a bad day, and I'd like a drink.
This man can be plied.
Please.
So why don't you go ahead and taste the control group right there?
Oh, all right.
And I'll get into what in theory is happening with the tequila as we're doing it. So what this video had said was the act of frothing your tequila, specifically, again, an aged one, helps bring out a different array of esters and flavors that would otherwise kind of be either compacted or subdued or by the strong ethanol flavors within the spirit. So by frothing it, we aerate it, causing some of the ethanol to evaporate off. And it's really kind of an inconsequential amount. And in doing so, it just kind of doesn't overshine some of the natural flavors that developed in either the agave nectar or
the
agave nectar or the barreling. So I'm going to go ahead and taste the control while you explain what your experience with that tasting was.
Well, this is actually very interesting. So this Casamigos Reposado bottle actually is a little old. It's been sitting on the bar at about 1/3 full for like 6 or 7 months, undrank. So I'm getting...
It's been there for a while?
It's been there for a while.
How have I missed it?
I don't know. And it's tangy. It's like very acidic. I'm still getting a little bit of sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of smoke. But I'm definitely getting a little bit of that. A lot of air has been in the bottle for kind of a while, but not so much that it's not drinkable. If your friend doesn't know what they're drinking and they're like, Casamigos.
Where is the ethanol burn for you? Like, where does it hit? Because for me, I'm getting a whole lot of kind of vanilla on the front of it, which I think is kind of typical of like a reposado decent tequila, where you got kind of like that beige flavor palette.
I'm not getting any of that kind of pectin feel in my cheeks. It's kind of laying kind of on my tongue. I'm getting the bitterness in the middle. I'm getting that acidity kind of towards the back of my tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting it. The heat for me kind of hits more in the lower esophagus.
Yeah, it's like warm here.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and try the frothed version now and see what kind of. Oh, go ahead.
So I'll try the frothed one while you
well,
tell us what.
I'll tell you about how tequila's pretty neat.
How about you tell what? Since you did a little research,
I did a little research.
As I'm tasting it, let's try something. Tell me, what am I supposed to be tasting?
So some of the ethanol burn. I guess it's kind of tough now, knowing that the bottle was on the shelf for so long. But what you should taste is is much more of a nose and much less of a esophageal burn from it. It should still kind of like you feel it in your gut when it hits there, but before that it should have just a general smoothness and palatability while letting some of the, again, more I say the beige flavor palette because it's like vanilla, sugar cookie, kind of like maybe like a touch of banana or caramel, but like a light caramel kind of vibe going on. What are your thoughts, feelings, opinions?
Absolutely insane. The ethanol is the flavor, the ethanol flavor, that nose, that burn, that warmth in the chest, way less prominent. It was buttery.
Whoa, yeah.
Very buttery, but there's something very interesting that happened. Taste the control again. Immediately, my entire palate kind of blown out. The sides of my cheek, my tongue. It's absolutely amplified.
Much more sensitive to it.
There's actually something very interesting happening here.
Wow.
This has become very buttery. I'm still kind of getting that ethanol-y kind of taste, of course, but it's like reduced.
What I'm getting a lot from it is sugar cookie, because it is buttery, but it's also got like that sweet cooked sugar or like slightly caramelized sugar.
This is actually kind of insane. The texture difference?
It is such a drastic.
What's causing the texture difference?
So that has to do with some of the emulsification of the oils that were, part of the distillate that impact the flavors. They're a tad bit more homogenized into the rest of the drink rather than kind of being separated. So where in the control, you'll taste a distinct difference where some of the ethanol may have separated from some of the oils and esters that are in the spirit. So you'll get like a little bit of that flavor from the oils, or maybe not oils, but just the stuff that it's, again, there's just a separation between the things.
I'm not here to say that you should aerate, calling it frothing, aerating all your liquors, but doing different and interesting things with the things that you have in hand, I think is like always really fun, because you can really discover something just kind of different. Because maybe the next time I want to sip something and I'm like kind of bored by everything in front of me,
you can just do something a tad bit more scientific.
I can switch it up.
Exactly.
And that actually even always opens up my mind to thinking about blending cocktails and aerating cocktails as well.
So this actually reminds me of when I was working at the bar that I was working at a while ago. One of the like go-to after shift drinks was we would all do shots of shaken, this exact thing, Casamigos Reposado shaken over ice. And I thought at the time. It was just the ice and the melting of the ice that kind of did the work to open up the
Oh,
drink.
it's the shaking. It's
But
the same
The
exact.
shaking opened up and aerated so much. It made it so much more palatable. I consumed way more alcohol than I should have in this time of my life. But fuck, if it wasn't pretty goddamn delicious. And I gotta say, prior to this experiment here, I did try this on my own with Espolón Reposado tequila. Same results. Same,
right?
Scientific method,
Repeatable.
Test twice, measure thrice. Exactly. And I think it's not going to change.
There's
the
some scientists
way-
out there who's like, that's not what the saying is. That's not what the saying is.
But I think they'd still appreciate it.
That's what you think.
Mm.
That's what you think.
Yeah, it's not like scientists.
He presumes.
How dare he causation before correlation? I think I'll still enjoy like a casual tequila shot, but like you said, if you're in a predicament where you're just trying to have a little bit of an elevated version of something that you're used to having, this is a really fun way to try something new.
There's a thing I think people always miss, which is sometimes you want to drink, right? So you'll have a shot of whiskey. You want something else because you're not satisfied. Just like if you got a burger that's not made the way you like it, right? Or the pizza you got wasn't as good as what you wanted, so you get another slice, even if you're not hungry.
Because you just want it right.
You just want it right. And sometimes you don't know what you want. Sometimes you're looking at old things and not seeing like new ways. So I really like this. I think this is like a very interesting thing, and I'm going to start incorporating this into some things. For example, making like Negronis. I've been making a few of those recently.
Yeah. You've been on a pretty
I've been
solid...
working on making the perfect Negroni coming to you at a tasting table or something soon.
You've been trying to get your money's worth out of that Campari. And
I am, man. I'm trying. But I like the Campari. I know this is not a Campari conversation, but I'm telling you, you aerate some Campari because it's grapefruity.
Aeration is a pretty nifty culinary hack.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the times, like a good example is like the oils. Oh yeah, I'm making this up off the top of my dome. Okay, It makes sense. The oils, when you drink the grapefruit juice, the oils, they're denser, they rise to the top, right?
Like the cream of the crop.
You don't see it, distinctly with your eye, but that's where it is
happening.
Bitter compounds, all that stuff. You aerate it, you whisk it, you drink it within a reasonable amount of time. Everything's incorporated
and emulsified.
It's emulsified as much as it can be because it might separate quickly, and it'll change the flavor of what it is. Especially, I think when it comes to like things like bitter compounds, I think it'll mask it just a little bit better. Mainly because it's just so evenly mixed into everything else. One thing, I think I want to have a little sip and see if after like 30 seconds or so, if I'm still getting the same sort of bitterness on the end.
Or if it
because the oils are still there.
Yeah.
They're just redispersed. If there's any microscopic debris or impurities, right? They'd be incorporated evenly now, but it'd still be there.
There'd still be a slight layer, and you've let it sit for a minute.
So I'm kind of wondering. So I'm going to do myself a little test.
All right. Well, you do yourself a little test. I want to pose a question out to the audience because it was posed to me. When martinis are shaken versus stirred,
shakes a martini.
Who shakes a... Ladies and gentlemen, who shakes a martini?
People who don't fucking drink martinis.
Number one answer on the goddamn board, James motherfucking Bond, bitch.
Ding!
Drink some shaken, not stirred. Like, that's the whole line. And so I've been led to believe that a shaken martini is actually the a bastardization of what the ingredients that go into a good martini are. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I don't know what to believe, because aerating your tequila is pretty fucking dope. And if you want to aerate and thoroughly emulsify a dirty martini, especially if it's a dirty martini, because then you're using like
I like that. I like that
actual
idea
brine.
because then one of the main problems is that it gets a little oily on top.
Yeah.
And the olive juice never really fully incorporates.
Or is it supposed to be a float? I don't know. These are the things.
I've come to a conclusion.
Conclude away, my friend.
There is still that burn at the end, but I think that I'm positing here, this is a theory, that because it's incorporated so evenly, there is just less of that. But after a few seconds, there is that.
It does come back.
And I took a sip of the control as well, the regular non-aerated. Same kind of thing after, but just a little bit more intense just down the middle of my tongue.
So there you have it, folks. Aerating your tequila. It's a good temporary little fun little, hey, you want to try this? And honestly, it'd be fun to do if like you were sip shooting. Like, you know, where you're like sipping, but you're trying to get onto the next sip. Or to the next tasting.
Until you get to like halfway through, then you shoot it.
Yeah.
You're working your way up.
You're working your way up. So honestly, okay, if you have a tequila, mezcal bar, yada, yada, keep a frother behind it. Because I'm going to say, if someone wants to do a tasting of their tequila and you want to just aerate it real quick, just zip, zip.
New trend.
That'd be dope. And it's something that, in theory, would be consumed quick enough to where it wouldn't revert back to separating and unhomogenizing in the way that we would expect. The only problem is repeat aeration will cause some of the ethanol to, over time, evaporate out.
Oh, boy.
And that's...
Sure going to lose 0.0001%.
Hey, the 0.0001% are very important, and they keep this economy afloat. I mean, job creators.
They make the agave. Without them, the agave wouldn't grow.
Exactly. They're actually industry titans, and we should sacrifice 99.9999.
So I know I'm a billionaire, but my father farmed agave.
I love how we went from just the simple talk about science and tequila and stuff to now it's just anti-capitalist.
I'm
is
sorry.
It propaganda or is it just discourse?
I mean, it's everything.
What's the difference between propaganda and discourse? Propaganda is aerated. Thank you so much for joining us behind the bar. My name's been Chandler Phillips.
I'm James Beery.
And keep up with the rest of our stuff. We got some more tasting tables, some behind the bars, etc. I love you and good night.
Peace.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was going to spit that one real quick.
Oh.